It was intended for our 5th anniversary to be a memory we would cherish forever, honoring all that we had created together, the hopes we had, back when things were still straightforward and full of light. So I had envisioned a small, possibly, nostalgic meal at the little Italian restaurant where Clarissa once demanded we do something special, because she had other plans, after our first awkward but lovely date. Her exact words, something unforgettable. That led us to Alvinto's, the eatery where the wealthy dine. I felt out of place as soon as we pulled in. The valet area was lined with luxury automobiles, and celebrities rushed to show off rather than eat. Clarissa looked stunning, wrapped in couture, glittering like diamonds under the soft golden lights. She smiled sharply. She didn't feel anxious. She belonged here. The velvet-lined walls, the chandeliers hanging from a crystal-shimmering ceiling. Everyone seemed to be laughing a bit too loudly, like they were auditioning for a reality show. Wanted to turn around and leave. But I'd had a bit too much to drink, and I didn't want to pick a quarrel on our anniversary. So I followed her, past the host, a man with a flawless smile and a quiet air of superiority, as he guided us to a secluded booth beside a dark mahogany wall. But then I saw them. Marcy and Bianca, Clarissa's best friends, already seated, already drinking. She hadn't told me we'd have company. I squinted in shock as Clarissa waved and giggled, sliding into the booth like she'd been preparing this all along. I hesitated, before sitting beside her, twisting in place. This was completely different from what I'd envisioned. Still, I forced a smile, tried to keep it neutral. Marcy and Bianca wasted no time, ordering bottle after bottle of the most expensive champagne. They laughed loudly, tossing back oysters and caviar like it was just another Tuesday. Clarissa barely acknowledged me. She sat back, sipping her drink, grinning like a queen among peasants. As they pointed and joked, I did mental math, calculating every item, every order, barely touching my own food. And when they began arguing between 2 absurdly expensive desserts, I excused myself, told them I was going to the bathroom. But really, I headed straight for the front, to settle the bill, discreetly. As I always did. The manager, smiling a little, too confidently, printed the bill with flair. I took the slip of paper from him, and my heart nearly stopped. $35,000. I blinked, convinced I'd misread it. But the numbers didn't change. They stared back at me, cold and real, like a slap to the face. My hands clenched around the bill. Embarrassment and rage churned in my gut. But I paid it, because this was Clarissa's night, and I didn't want to ruin it, even if it ruined me. And then something shifted. Maybe it was intuition, maybe the universe, warning me one last time. I didn't go straight back to the table. Instead, I lingered behind a privacy wall. And that's when I heard it. Laughter. Not the kind that's innocent. No. This laughter made my skin crawl. I stepped, closer, heart racing, and then I heard Clarissa's voice. "He's just my ATM and my last option." She laughed, nearly spilling her drink. "I'll dump him right after he pays off my debt and helps me start my business." Bianca and Marcy howled with laughter. One of them toasted to it. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. My marriage shattered. Not in slow motion, not with dramatic music, but like dry twigs beneath my feet. Clarissa didn't love me. Maybe she never did. I was a stepping stone, a tool, someone she could bend with fairy tales and credit cards. Use, then discard. I didn't make a scene. I didn't go back. Instead, I turned around calmly, walked back to the manager and said, "Reverse the charge, now." He looked confused at first until I leaned in. "Fraudulent charges. Cancel it." He nodded. No questions asked, like he'd seen it before. Outside, the cold air struck me like a slap. It cleared my head. It was over. Not just the dinner, all of it. I didn't look back at the building. Didn't want to see her fake smile, her meaningless laughter. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Probably Clarissa. But I ignored it. The pavement reeled under my feet. The road ahead was dark, unfamiliar, but I walked anyway. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I would never return. The air was colder than I expected. It cut through my jacket, and through the life I thought I had. Everything I built had crumbled. And yet, my heart felt oddly light, empty, but light. I stared up at the velvet sky. The stars held no answers, but they were honest. My phone buzzed again. Clarissa, hey, sweetie, are you okay? I stared at the message. She didn't know what. I'd heard. Didn't know I wasn't coming back. I didn't reply. I couldn't. I just slid the phone back into my pocket and walked away. Away from her, from the lies, from everything. As I reached my silver sedan, parked among Bentleys and Maseratis, I sat in the driver's seat, hands on the wheel, breathing. I tasted bitterness, felt nausea crawl up my neck, but I started the engine. And I drove. No destination, no GPS, no plan, just forward. The road curved beneath me, streetlights smeared into gold streaks. The wind stung, my eyes. My phone buzzed again, calls, texts, over and over. At the next red light, I glanced at it. 3 missed calls, 5 messages. Everything okay? Did you cry happy tears? Where are you? I didn't reply. Later, I saw over 100 missed messages. They turned frantic. Please come back. You're ruining everything. We'll be done if you don't. I read them. Felt nothing. It was like watching a storm through thick glass. At a gas station, far from the city, I leaned on the hood and stared at the sky, away from the noise. Away from her, and for the first time in years, I felt free. Not devastated, not broken. Free. Clarissa's betrayal didn't destroy me. It released me. I breathed in the cold air, crisp and honest. No more bending to fit someone else's idea of love. No more pretending. I got back in the car, started the engine. This time, I had a purpose. Not running, moving on. The screen of my phone lit up again as I merged onto the highway. Another call from Clarissa. I let it ring, then watched it fade. And as the night swallowed the last of the golden lights behind me, I whispered to no one, I'm not coming back.